You realize you are as stiff as a stone statue, correct? You didn't want me to see you shaking. While I appreciate the dedication you have for your appearance, since it does almost rival my own, tense too much and your muscles will begin to go limp, actually. Oh yes, indeed. They'll begin to grow tired, and then you'll fall right over. And what would that leave us with? You'd have a big bruise on your head that I would have to heal for you, and you would most likely not be able to remember this lovely conversation. So, how about you relax a little? Saints. You weren't exaggerating about your shaking, dear. You do seem rather nervous. What? Are you too stunned by my beauty to be able to keep yourself from trembling in my presence? It isn't that. What is it then? It's hardly nothing if it's causing you to shake so terribly. You do realize you can tell me, don't you? When have I ever told any secret of yours? That doesn't count. That was a friendly matter. If this is something serious, I can keep it hidden. You know that well enough. You're under the impression that I won't feel that way this time. And why is that? Is it because you aren't promising me revenge in exchange for secrecy? Or is it because you don't think you're intimidating enough to keep me honest? Because I assure you, revenge and intimidation are poor motivators. At least, when compared to the cost of your friendship. After all, you know what I did. You know what happened to me. Yet you still look at me as if I'm myself. As if I'm still beautiful. Don't lie. I know sometimes you flinch when you see me. I try not to be bothered by it, but coming from you it does irk me slightly. But I can overlook it. After all, it is a rather grim reminder of all that happened to Ravka. So I don't judge. And I certainly won't judge you for whatever it is that's on your mind. So please, if it's causing you to shake this badly, if it's causing you this much anxiety and fear, at least tell me. At least tell me if it's something that I can perhaps help with. You aren't certain I'd want to help you. Remind me, who assisted me when I was struggling to get a pin into my hair that I was preparing for my wedding day? Who helped me with that? You did. When I was an emotional mess, you helped me. You didn't judge, you didn't mock me, confident Genya Safin, finally shaking in her boots all over a marriage. You didn't mock me for that. Whatever you're going through, I will want to help however I can. Unless, of course, it requires killing someone who doesn't deserve it. Then I suppose you will be on your own. It doesn't involve killing someone. Well, that's a relief. What does it involve, then? I do beg your pardon, if you'll forgive me. What did you just say? You wish for me to alter your appearance drastically. Only for a few days. And what would you like me to do to you? How would you like me to make you look? It's all right, take your time. I've been working on myself since I was a little girl. I can understand why my power is rather enticing. Whatever you wish for me to have done to you, I'm sure I can do it, and I certainly won't. You wish for me to make you look more masculine? Why is that? No. Sit down, please. I don't mean to sound judgmental. I am not judging you. Saints knows I've lost the right to judge anyone based on what they want done with their appearance. After all, I have done some fairly questionable things for people who asked me to. I even helped save the former Queen of Ravka from sagging tits, and I'm quite certain that that is something that certainly deserves more judgment than helping you to look more masculine. I only ask why you wish for me to do this out of curiosity. You realize this, don't you? It's difficult to explain. Do your best. I will admit I'm rather quick-witted. I ought to be able to interpret what you're saying. Please, do your best. You sometimes feel a certain shift. How so? And a shift of what exactly? How you wish to present yourself. I see. No, I'm not judging you or trying to find a way to say no to your request. I'm simply trying to understand. It isn't something that I've ever confronted before. Not in all my time at the little palace. I'm simply trying to understand. There's a term for how you identify. And what is it? Genderfluid. I might have heard that term in passing, but I never truly understood what it meant, and since it didn't apply to anyone I knew, I didn't look further into it. It means that you sometimes shift between how you identify gender-wise. That isn't as bad as I thought. When you said that you were nervous about asking me to do something for you, I certainly expected murder, or another near poisoning. But this is far simpler. For me, at least. For you. Does anyone else know about this? Oh, of course, the too clever fox knows about it. I have no doubt he noticed you perhaps admiring his rugged good looks. Perhaps he teased you for it and you had to admit that you were jealous. How did I know? Do you really think that he can keep his mouth shut about anything of this sort? Don't worry. I didn't understand at first. He didn't necessarily out you, I suppose. He said it while he was drinking a little. He didn't mean to. And even then, perhaps Perhaps he was trying to imply that I ought to tailor you a few times a week, so that you can change your appearance more according to your gender. Of course. I would be happy to do so if it would make you happy. After all, you've done more than I can ever tell. All for me. All to truly show that you view me as a friend, and not as a foe who has yet to be forgiven, whom you are desperately trying to forgive. You've shown that you care for me, so I'm going to care for you as well, and that includes adjusting your appearance as you see fit. However, I will say, when you're feeling more feminine at times, you're still not allowed to be prettier than I am. Understood? Oh, someone has got... Would it be his or hers? His today. Very well. Someone has gotten his confidence back after being so racked with nerves that he had to stiffen himself until he reminded me of a statue of one of the saints. You truly are quite surprising, aren't you? I suppose there are moments in which I delight in your little surprises, other times not so much. For instance, when you attempted to blind me with light. I know you weren't truly attempting to blind me, but it did feel that way. And let's perhaps not do that again, especially since I need my one good eye to be able to see what I am doing to your handsome face. Turn around, would you? Because I need to cut your hair, sir. Oh, please. Watch this. Oh, please. Before you beg the saints to curse me, just watch. See? As a tailor, I have the ability to grow your hair to any length you desire. So when you're feeling more feminine, you can have hair as long as Rapunzel's, and when you're not, it can be as short as you like. Although, I wouldn't recommend cutting all of it off. After all, it does add a little bit of character to your face, and it does rather nicely highlight the colour of your eyes. Of course I notice your eyes. They're rather nice. And they're the only eyes in this palace that are perhaps prettier than mine, but only because there are two of them in your skull, and one of them in mine. Oh? You think I'm jealous of your eyes? Just for that, I am going to give you the most ridiculous mustache ever, and you're just going to have to live with it. Do you really wish to take that chance, though? After all, I have survived far worse than a friend's anger over a mustache. I'm not that scared of what you would do if I messed with your facial hair. Good. Then, chin down, let me cut your hair, then we'll tend to your face, all right? Chin down.